Most people never succeed because they are addicted to comfort disguised as peace. They call it balance, but it's fear. They call it patience, but it's procrastination wearing a mask. They tell themselves they're waiting for the right moment, but the truth is they are waiting for life to hand them permission to live. They talk about dreams like souvenirs from a vacation they'll never take. They speak with passion but walk with hesitation. They want change, but not the discomfort that creates it. They want success, but not the silence that builds it. They want to be great, but they're terrified of being alone while becoming it. Most people never succeed because they think effort and obsession are the same thing. Effort is trying when you feel motivated. Obsession is doing it when your soul is bleeding and no one claps. Most people quit when the applause stops. The few who make it, they train when everyone else is asleep, not because they enjoy it, but because they refuse to die average. Comfort is the silent killer of greatness. It sneaks in quietly, disguised as peace, disguised as safety, disguised as rest. It whispers, you've done enough when you've barely started. It tells you you deserve a break when you haven't earned the victory. Comfort is not your friend. It's the assassin of your potential. It never shouts. It lulls you softly into mediocrity. It makes you forget hunger. It makes you forget fire. It makes you forget what it feels like to fight for something that sets your soul on fire. Comfort destroys warriors before battle even begins. It makes lions forget they are lions. It turns sharp minds dull and driven hearts lazy. It doesn't strike fast. It corrodes slowly day by day until you look in the mirror and realize you've become everything you once swore you'd never be. Average, safe, untested. Comfort feeds your fear and starves your ambition. It keeps you warm while your dreams grow cold. It protects your ego while it kills your purpose. Greatness requires discomfort, the kind that burns your lungs, breaks your sleep, and makes your mind scream for relief. The kind that builds character in silence when no one is watching. Every great soul you admire was forged in fire, not pillows. They walked through rejection, through pain, through isolation, and that's why they became unstoppable. But the comfortable never know that feeling. They live soft lives and die with hard regrets. They mistake calmness for fulfillment, but deep down they know something is missing. The feeling of being alive through the struggle. Comfort is seductive. It offers easy choices with deadly consequences. It tells you that risk is dangerous, that challenge is unnecessary, that ambition is arrogance. It makes you trade progress for peace and motion for rest. It rewards you with short-term pleasure, but punishes you with long-term emptiness. It is the silent lullaby that puts your purpose to sleep. The longer you stay in comfort, the weaker you become. You stop evolving. You stop creating. You stop dreaming. You stop feeling alive. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you betray your future self. You choose temporary ease over eternal pride. You silence the warrior within you for the approval of the weak around you. Comfort keeps you surrounded by people who will never challenge you. It keeps you addicted to the familiar, afraid of the unknown, content with good enough. But good enough is the coffin where greatness goes to die. Comfort tells you to rest when you should rise. It tells you to wait when you should act. It convinces you that opportunity will knock again, but it won't. It passes by those who sit still and embraces those who chase. Comfort makes you blind to your potential because it hides it behind excuses. You'll tell yourself you're tired. You'll tell yourself you're not ready. You'll tell yourself it's not the right time. But those are just comforting lies wrapped in fear. You were not born for comfort. You were born for conquest. The blood in your veins was not meant to sit still. It was meant to fight, to build, to conquer mountains only you can see. Every moment you choose discomfort, when you train harder, wake earlier, risk failure, you kill weakness. You build strength where others collapse. You sharpen your mind while others dull theirs with ease. Greatness is not achieved by those who sleep in. It is earned by those who suffer away. Comfort makes you forget the hunger that once drove you. It makes you rationalize your limits. It makes you proud of small victories so you stop chasing real ones. It gives you a false sense of success because it feels good. But comfort feels good only until regret starts to burn. The comfort you enjoy today becomes the pain you carry tomorrow. Every minute of comfort costs you growth, and every drop of growth demands discomfort. The truth is brutal success will never come to those who keep seeking comfort. Comfort and greatness cannot coexist. One will always destroy the other. You cannot be legendary and comfortable at the same time. You cannot chase purpose while clinging to safety. You cannot climb if you refuse to let go of the ground. Comfort chains your soul, but discomfort sets it free. You must learn to love the struggle. You must find peace in pressure. You must train your mind to crave challenge, because the moment you feel too comfortable, you are already declining. The day you stop pushing is the day your greatness begins to rot. The pain you run from today becomes the wall that blocks your destiny tomorrow. Every time you avoid discomfort, you strengthen your excuses and weaken your future. Comfort is not a reward, it's a test. It asks, will you settle or will you rise? The weak settle, the strong rise, the comfortable sleep, the hungry build, the fearful wait, the brave act. The difference between success and failure is not talent, not luck, not background. It is who dares to stay uncomfortable long enough to grow beyond themselves. Comfort is the enemy disguised as mercy. It doesn't destroy you overnight. It drains you quietly. It takes your discipline, your edge, your hunger, one small decision at a time. Until one day, you look around and realize your dreams are gone, not because you were incapable, but because you were comfortable. And that is the most painful death of all. Most chase applause, not mastery. They don't want to become great, they just want to look great. They want eyes on them, not excellence in them. They crave validation more than transformation. They live to be seen, not to be sharpened. They trade the pain of discipline for the pleasure of attention. And that's why they stay average no matter how loud the world claps for them. Applause is easy to earn, mastery is not. Applause comes when you perform once, mastery comes when you fail 1,000 times and keep going. Most people want the noise of recognition, but not the silence of practice. They want the spotlight, but not the shadows where real growth happens. They want to be celebrated without being tested. But greatness demands isolation, humility, and patience that most people will never have the courage to carry. They chase attention because it feels like achievement. They confuse being noticed with being valuable. They measure success in followers, not impact. They measure progress in praise, not progress itself. They let the world's opinions become their oxygen, forgetting that true masters breathe from within. Every clap they hear feeds their ego, but starves their purpose. They forget that applause fades, but mastery echoes forever. The crowd can't make you great. The crowd can only make you comfortable. The moment you start performing for them, you lose yourself. The moment you start needing their approval, you give them control. You become a puppet dancing to their reactions, not a creator driven by vision. Mastery doesn't care who's watching. It only cares that you're improving. But most people never reach that level because they fear being invisible while they grow. Mastery is born in silence. It's built in sweat no one sees, in nights when you question everything, in mornings when quitting feels easier than continuing. Mastery doesn't happen when people cheer. It happens when no one believes in you, but you keep showing up. The applause chasers stop when the audience leaves. The masters rise when the lights go out. Most people want the reward of mastery without the repetition. They want perfection without the pain. They want to be called the best without ever being broken, reshaped, rebuilt. They want results faster than reality allows. But mastery cannot be rushed. It demands your time, your patience, your obsession. It will test your character, not your confidence. It will humiliate your ego and expose your weaknesses. And that's why so few ever find it, because mastery asks for the death of pride before it grants the birth of greatness. Applause feeds the surface, mastery feeds the soul. The crowd claps for moments, masters live for meaning. The applause chasers look for shortcuts, the masters fall in love with the process. One seeks validation, the other seeks evolution. One performs for approval, the other practices for purpose. That's the difference between noise and legacy. You can't chase both applause and mastery. They live on opposite roads. The road to applause is crowded, full of people pretending, showing off, hiding behind illusion. The road to mastery is empty, full of scars, full of discipline, full of lonely nights where the only sound is your own breath and your own doubt. But that's where real power is born. Applause dies when the next trend arrives. Mastery survives every generation. The masters aren't chasing likes, they're chasing limits. They don't care about fame. They care about becoming so good that the world can't ignore them even if it tries. They don't seek to impress, they seek to express the highest version of themselves. Most people will never reach mastery because they want to be rewarded too soon. They quit when progress doesn't get attention. They stop when the world doesn't clap. But the true master understands that greatness is not about being seen. It's about becoming undeniable. It's about creating something that outlives applause, something that speaks long after the noise fades. Every clap you chase takes energy away from the work that matters. Every time you perform for validation, you move further from your purpose. The applause you seek today can become the prison that stops your evolution tomorrow. Because the moment you depend on praise to move forward, you lose the ability to move without it. Masters don't seek applause because they know applause is temporary. They know the real reward is inner peace. The peace that comes from knowing you gave everything, even when no one saw. They know the sound of self-respect is louder than any crowd. They don't need to prove themselves. They are too busy improving themselves. Applause can make you famous, but mastery makes you eternal. Fame fades with time. Skill grows with it. Applause can be bought, faked, manipulated, but mastery cannot be imitated. It demands pain, patience, and persistence that no crowd can give you. That's why the masters walk alone and the applause chasers walk in circles. Most chase applause because they fear silence. But silence is where the truth speaks. Silence is where creation begins. Silence is where the weak quit and the strong transform. The applause chaser fears being forgotten. The master fears never reaching his full potential. The applause chaser performs to please. The master works to evolve. One plays for the audience, the other plays for destiny. So when you feel unseen, understand that's the birthplace of mastery. When no one claps, keep moving. When no one notices, keep building. Because the moment you stop chasing applause and start chasing greatness, that's when the world will finally see what true mastery looks like. Time wasted is potential buried alive. Every second you waste is a piece of your destiny you'll never touch again. You're not losing minutes, you're losing meaning. You're not just passing time, you're killing opportunities that will never be reborn. Time doesn't stop for your hesitation. It doesn't pause for your comfort. It moves forward, leaving behind the ones who move slow, the ones who wait for someday, the ones who never realize that every breath is a countdown. Most people treat time like it's renewable, as if they can buy it back once it's gone. They live as if tomorrow is guaranteed, as if the universe owes them another sunrise. But time doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't care about your excuses, your moods, or your fears. Every wasted moment is a silent funeral for the dreams you once promised yourself you'd chase. Every distraction, every delay, every "I'll do it later" is a grave being dug for your potential. Time doesn't ask permission before it leaves. It doesn't send warnings before it takes another day from you. It disappears quietly while you scroll, while you procrastinate, while you talk about what you'll do one day. But that one day never comes because life doesn't wait for the undecided. Time belongs to the disciplined, to the ones who act, to the ones who understand that every hour is a chance to build or bury their future. Wasting time is not harmless. It's self-destruction in slow motion. Every wasted day becomes a war between who you are and who you could have been. You can recover money, reputation, and strength, but never time. Once it's gone forever. And when you finally realize that, it's usually too late. The dreams that once screamed in your soul are silent. The chances that once stood before you are dust. The fire that once burned in you is cold. People say, "I don't have time," but what they mean is, "I don't prioritize my purpose." They give their hours to distractions and their energy to noise. They spend their days surviving instead of creating. They let time slip through their fingers like sand, not realizing they are holding their future in their hands. Time is the only currency that never refunds. Spend it wrong, and you'll regret it more than anything money could buy. Every hour you waste is an hour someone else is using to get ahead. While you hesitate, someone else is mastering their craft. While you rest in comfort, someone is building empires in silence. While you make excuses, someone is transforming their pain into power. Time doesn't reward intentions, it rewards execution. The clock does not stop for dreamers, it moves for doors. The graveyards are full of potential that time outlasted. Voices that were never heard, ideas that were never born, greatness that was never realized. Time didn't kill them, their inaction did. They waited for the perfect moment, not knowing that perfection is built through action. They waited for motivation, not knowing that consistency creates it. They waited for signs, not knowing that time itself was the only sign they ever needed. You think you have time because you wake up every morning, but one day you won't. One day your clock will stop and you'll wish you had treated every moment like it mattered. You'll wish you had spoken what you felt, chased what you dreamed, lived what you feared. Because time doesn't forgive the lazy and it doesn't return to the ungrateful. It only blesses the ones who respect it enough to use it well. Wasting time is a form of self-betrayal. It's you turning your back on the person you were meant to become. Every distraction, every delay, every wasted hour is a silent confession that you're afraid of your own potential. Because deep down, you know that if you gave your best, you'd be unstoppable. But it's easier to waste time than to face the truth of what you could be. Time doesn't care about your comfort zone. It doesn't slow down because you're not ready. It doesn't pause for your pain or fear. It keeps moving, and either you move with it or get buried by it. Every second you waste becomes your competition's advantage. Every moment you hesitate becomes someone else's opportunity. Every minute you lose becomes another dream you'll never touch. There are two types of people: those who use time as a weapon and those who let it wound them. Those who use time understand its value. They treat every second like gold. They act while others talk. They build while others rest. They sacrifice today for the freedom of tomorrow. The others let time slip away, thinking they'll start later. But later becomes never, and never becomes regret. When you waste time, you don't just lose minutes, you lose identity. You lose the chance to see what your highest version looks like. You lose the story you were supposed to live. Time wasted is potential that never breathes, greatness that never rises, purpose that never awakens. You don't need more time. You need to respect the time you have. You don't need perfect conditions. You need relentless action. The clock is not your enemy. Your delay is. The world doesn't wait for you to be ready. It rewards the ones who move even when they're not. Every time you say, tomorrow, time buries a piece of your greatness today. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize your potential wasn't lost. It was buried alive under hours you never used. Success demands your pain, not your permission. It doesn't ask you if you're ready. It doesn't wait for you to feel brave. It doesn't care about your excuses, your doubts, or your comfort. Success doesn't knock, it breaks in, tests you, and demands everything you have. It strips away the weak parts of you and exposes the strength you didn't know existed. It doesn't want your approval. It wants your endurance. It wants your sweat, your scars, your sleepless nights, and your will to keep going when your mind screams to stop. Most people will never touch success because they treat pain as punishment instead of preparation. They run when it burns, they hide when it hurts, and they quit when it gets hard. But success lives in the places most people are afraid to enter. It hides behind your breaking point, waiting to see if you'll crawl or climb. It watches how you respond to pain, because pain is the language of growth. Pain is the entrance fee for greatness. You can't skip it. You can't cheat it. You can't buy your way around it. Every dream you want will demand a part of you in exchange. The higher you aim, the more it will cost. Pain is the price the universe charges for transformation. Those who avoid it stay the same forever, trapped in comfort, buried in mediocrity. Success doesn't want your permission to hurt you. It will challenge you. It will humiliate you. It will break your ego into dust. It will make you question your worth, your path, your strength. But it does this to see if you are real, because fake strength collapses under pressure, but real strength is born from it. Every moment of pain you survive becomes proof that you are worthy of more. Pain is the filter that separates the dreamers from the doors. Everyone says they want success until they meet the sacrifice it demands. Everyone wants the crown until they feel the weight of it crushing their comfort. Success doesn't ask, do you still want it? It simply watches if you can keep going after the pain begins. Those who can't fall, those who can rise. You can't negotiate with pain. You can't ask it to be gentle. You can't ask success to come easy. You must be willing to be broken open and rebuilt stronger. You must be willing to bleed for your purpose, to walk through fire for your future, to stand alone when no one understands you. Because success is not given. It's earned through every moment you wanted to quit but didn't. Success doesn't respond to prayers. It responds to persistence. It doesn't come from wishing, it comes from withstanding. It watches how you handle rejection, failure, and fatigue. It doesn't care about your motivation. It cares about your consistency. It wants to see if you'll show up even when it hurts to move. It wants to see if you can hold your vision steady while your world shakes. Pain is not your enemy, it's your initiation. It's the fire that forges your purpose, the weight that builds your strength, the silence that shapes your character. Without pain, success would have no meaning. The pain is what gives victory its flavor. The pain is what separates the ordinary from the chosen. The pain is what cleanses you of weakness and reveals the power hidden beneath. Every scar tells a story of a battle you didn't run from. Every tear you shed in silence is a seed watered by pain that will bloom into power. Pain is not there to destroy you. It's there to introduce you to the version of yourself who can handle everything you once thought you couldn't. Success demands pain because comfort breeds weakness. It wants the version of you that has walked through storms, not the one that hides from the rain. It wants the version that's been rejected, broken, exhausted, yet still refuses to bow. It wants to see if your desire is stronger than your discomfort. The ones who win are not those who feel less pain. They are the ones who decide the pain is worth it. Pain will strip you of illusions. It will make you face your truth. It will destroy your excuses. It will test your patience, your discipline, your loyalty to your vision. And only after you have endured what others avoid will success open its doors. Not because you asked, but because you proved. Most people think success is about talent, but it's not. Talent may start the race, but pain decides who finishes. Success doesn't care how gifted you are. It cares how much you can suffer without surrendering. It cares how long you can stay committed when progress feels invisible. It cares how many times you can rise after being crushed. Pain builds the kind of power that applause can't. It teaches humility, focus, and unbreakable drive. It transforms your chaos into clarity. It kills the weak version of you that wanted comfort and replaces it with a warrior that demands purpose. Every painful moment is a test of worthiness, and every time you endure it, you move closer to what others only dream about. So if you're suffering, don't run from it. If it hurts, stay in it, because the pain is the process and the process is the proof. Success doesn't need your permission. It needs your sacrifice. It doesn't ask if you're ready. It asks if you're willing. And if you are, it will give you everything, but only after it has taken everything that made you ordinary. Success demands your pain, not your permission. It doesn't ask you if you're ready. It doesn't wait for you to feel brave. It doesn't care about your excuses, your doubts, or your comfort. Success doesn't knock. It breaks in, tests you, and demands everything you have. It strips away the weak parts of you and exposes the strength you didn't know existed. It doesn't want your approval. It wants your endurance. It wants your sweat, your scars, your sleepless nights, and your will to keep going when your mind screams to stop. Most people will never touch success because they treat pain as punishment instead of preparation. They run when it burns, they hide when it hurts, and they quit when it gets hard. But success lives in the places most people are afraid to enter. It hides behind your breaking point, waiting to see if you'll crawl or climb. It watches how you respond to pain, because pain is the language of growth. Pain is the entrance fee for greatness. You can't skip it. You can't cheat it. You can't buy your way around it. Every dream you want will demand a part of you in exchange. The higher you aim, the more it will cost. Pain is the price the universe charges for transformation. Those who avoid it stay the same forever, trapped in comfort, buried in mediocrity. Success doesn't want your permission to hurt you. It will challenge you. It will humiliate you. It will break your ego into dust. It will make you question your worth, your path, your strength. But it does this to see if you are real, because fake strength collapses under pressure, but real strength is born from it. Every moment of pain you survive becomes proof that you are worthy of more. Pain is the filter that separates the dreamers from the doers. Everyone says they want success until they meet the sacrifice it demands. Everyone wants the crown until they feel the weight of it crushing their comfort. Success doesn't ask, do you still want it? It simply watches if you can keep going after the pain begins. Those who can't fall, those who can rise. You can't negotiate with pain. You can't ask it to be gentle. You can't ask success to come easy. You must be willing to be broken open and rebuilt stronger. You must be willing to bleed for your purpose, to walk through fire for your future, to stand alone when no one understands you. Because success is not given, it's earned through every moment you wanted to quit but didn't. Success doesn't respond to prayers, it responds to persistence. It doesn't come from wishing, it comes from withstanding. It watches how you handle rejection, failure, and fatigue. It doesn't care about your motivation. It cares about your consistency. It wants to see if you'll show up even when it hurts to move. It wants to see if you can hold your vision steady while your world shakes. Pain is not your enemy. It's your initiation. It's the fire that forges your purpose, the weight that builds your strength, the silence that shapes your character. Without pain, success would have no meaning. The pain is what gives victory its flavor. The pain is what separates the ordinary from the chosen. The pain is what cleanses you of weakness and reveals the power hidden beneath. Every scar tells a story of a battle you didn't run from. Every tear you shed in silence is a seed watered by pain that will bloom into power. Pain is not there to destroy you. It's there to introduce you to the version of yourself who can handle everything you once thought you couldn't. Success demands pain because comfort breeds weakness. It wants the version of you that has walked through storms, not the one that hides from the rain. It wants the version that's been rejected, broken, exhausted, yet still refuses to bow. It wants to see if your desire is stronger than your discomfort. The ones who win are not those who feel less pain. They are the ones who decide the pain is worth it. Pain will strip you of illusions. It will make you face your truth. It will destroy your excuses. It will test your patience, your discipline, your loyalty to your vision. And only after you have endured what others avoid will success open its doors, not because you asked, but because you proved. Most people think success is about talent, but it's not. Talent may start the race, but pain decides who finishes. Success doesn't care how gifted you are. It cares how much you can suffer without surrendering. It cares how long you can stay committed when progress feels invisible. It cares how many times you can rise after being crushed. Pain builds the kind of power that applause can't. It teaches humility, focus and unbreakable drive. It transforms your chaos into clarity. It kills the weak version of you that wanted comfort and replaces it with a warrior that demands purpose. Every painful moment is a test of worthiness, and every time you endure it, you move closer to what others only dream about. So if you're suffering, don't run from it. If it hurts, stay in it. Because the pain is the process, and the process is the proof. Success doesn't need your permission. It needs your sacrifice. It doesn't ask if you're ready. It asks if you're willing. And if you are, it will give you everything. But only after it has taken everything that made you ordinary. Shortcuts are the graves of the impatient. Every time you choose the easy way, you bury a piece of your greatness. Every time you look for the fastest path, you trade long-term power for short-term pleasure. The impatient want results without resistance, victory without struggle, glory without the grind. They want to skip the journey but still arrive at the destination. But what they don't see is that the shortcut always steals what the struggle was meant to give. Wisdom, strength, resilience, and depth. The world is full of people chasing speed instead of mastery. They want to be seen as successful more than they want to become successful. They look for the hack, the secret, the cheat code that will save them from effort. But every time you try to skip the process, you skip the very transformation that makes you worthy of success. The process is not your punishment, it's your preparation. The shortcut robs you of the muscle that only the climb can build. Shortcuts promise speed but deliver emptiness. They make you feel like you're winning while you're actually sinking. They make you appear ahead while you're actually behind. They trick you into thinking you're progressing, but you're only decorating failure. Success that comes without struggle is fragile. It collapses under pressure. Anything gained without growth will eventually return to dust because the foundation was never built. The impatient don't realize that time is not their enemy, it's their greatest ally. Every step, every delay, every challenge shapes them into someone capable of holding success. When you rush, you ruin the rhythm of your own destiny. You can't plant a seed today and demand a tree tomorrow. Growth takes time. Power takes patience. The shortcut skips the roots, and that's why it always dies in the storm. Shortcuts kill hunger. They make you comfortable with mediocrity, disguised as achievement. They rob you of humility, discipline, and depth. The impatient don't understand that the wait is the work, that the grind is the gift, that the pain is the teacher. They look for results instead of lessons, forgetting that every true success story was written in sweat, not in shortcuts. The impatient are not driven by purpose, they're driven by pressure. They can't handle the silence between effort and reward. They give up too soon or settle for too little. They chase the illusion of progress instead of the truth of development. They build castles of sand and call them empires. But the tide of time always exposes the truth. Every shortcut comes with a hidden cost. It steals the strength that struggle was meant to give you. It cheats you out of the depth that failure was meant to build in you. It blinds you to the lessons that patience was meant to teach you. You might get what you want faster, but you won't become who you need to be. And when life tests you, you'll break because you never built endurance through the long road. The impatient hate waiting, but waiting reveals who's real. Waiting separates pretenders from warriors. Waiting is where character is carved. You can't microwave mastery. You can't rush excellence. You can't fake discipline. The longer path is not a delay, it's divine timing. It's the universe preparing you for what's already yours, but not yet ready to be handled by your current version. The shortcut offers comfort. The long road offers character. The shortcut offers applause. The long road offers authority. The shortcut offers illusion. The long road offers identity. The shortcut ends where it begins, with regret. The long road ends with fulfillment, with strength earned through storms, with pride that can never be taken. Every time you choose a shortcut, you deny yourself the experience of becoming. You avoid the very pain that would have made you powerful. You skip the mistakes that would have made you wise. You reject the grind that would have made you grounded. You gain speed but lose soul. You arrive fast but empty, because success without struggle feels like a victory you didn't earn, and that emptiness never leaves. Impatience destroys destiny. It makes people quit right before the breakthrough. It makes them chase comparison instead of creation. It makes them forget that success is a process of becoming, not a prize to be claimed. Impatience is what turns potential into ashes. It convinces you that slow means failing, when in truth slow means building right. The shortcut looks like a gift, but it's a trap. It saves you time now, only to cost you peace later. It gives you speed but steals your skill. It gives you recognition but robs your respect. It makes the journey easier but the victory meaningless. The shortcut never gives you more. It only gives you less dressed as more. You cannot rush what was meant to refine you. You cannot skip the storms that were sent to strengthen you. You cannot cheat your way into greatness because greatness is built, not borrowed. Every shortcut you take delays your real success because it makes you start over with lessons unlearned. The longer path may hurt, but it heals you into someone powerful enough to hold what you're chasing. Patience is not weakness, it's wisdom. The strong endure what the weak escape. The wise build what the impatient break. The patient may move slower, but they never stop moving. They understand that every moment of waiting is an investment in mastery. The impatient bury their dreams early, digging their own graves with shortcuts. Shortcuts are for those who fear time, but the masters understand that time is the test that reveals true greatness. The impatient die fast with empty hands. The patient live long with unshakable strength. Every shortcut you take may get you there faster, but it will never let you stay there longer. Discipline is the weapon that separates the few from the rest. It's the silent force that builds empires while others are still making excuses. It's the fire that burns inside the ones who refuse to be average. Discipline is not about motivation, it's about mastery. It's what you do when no one is watching, when no one is clapping, when no one believes. It's the relentless choice to show up again and again, long after the mood has left and only the mission remains. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It demands what you owe. It doesn't wait for inspiration. It creates it through repetition. It's the difference between those who dream and those who do. The world is full of people with talent, intelligence, and ambition, but only the discipline turn potential into power. Discipline is what transforms intention into reality. Without it, even the strongest mind collapses under the weight of comfort. Discipline means saying no to what feels good now for what will feel great later. It's sacrificing pleasure for purpose, ease for evolution, and distraction for direction. The undisciplined live for the moment, the disciplined build for eternity. While others are scrolling, sleeping, and escaping, the disciplined are creating, learning, and rising. Every act of consistency becomes a brick in the empire of their destiny. Discipline is not punishment, it's protection. It protects your dreams from decay. It shields your purpose from laziness. It guards your greatness from weakness. When emotion fades, discipline remains. It becomes your armor in a world addicted to comfort. Those who lack discipline chase motivation. Those who have it become unstoppable. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going when motivation disappears. Every morning you wake up, discipline gives you two choices: rise or repeat. Most people repeat. They choose comfort over conquest, distraction over direction, and comfort over challenge. But the few, the chosen, the relentless, they rise. They don't need applause. They don't need approval. And they don't need perfect conditions. They move because discipline has made movement their nature. Discipline kills excuses before they're spoken. It silences the voice that says later and replaces it with no. It doesn't negotiate with weakness. It dominates it. The disciplined don't wait for the right time. They create the time. They don't seek permission. They take responsibility. Every single act of discipline compounds into strength, clarity, and confidence. It's the ultimate form of self-respect. Discipline is the difference between the ones who want it and the ones who have it. Everyone wants success, but few are willing to do what it demands. The road to greatness is narrow because discipline filters the weak. It tests your patience, your focus, your hunger, and your belief. It's not glamorous, but it's glorious. Every repetition, every early morning, every sacrifice becomes the foundation of something unbreakable. Those who lack discipline live in cycles: start, stop, quit, repeat. They build momentum only to destroy it with comfort. They chase feelings instead of building habits. But the disciplined have learned the truth: emotions lie, discipline doesn't. They don't depend on how they feel, they depend on what they've decided. They've made discipline their default setting, and because of that, they can't be stopped by delay, distraction, or doubt. Discipline is self-control in motion. It's the art of doing what's necessary, not what's easy. It's the daily battle between your higher self and your weaker self. And every time you choose discipline, you feed the part of you that's destined to lead. The undisciplined live for comfort. The disciplined live for conquest. The undisciplined crave results. The disciplined crave growth. The undisciplined talk. The disciplined transform. Discipline separates leaders from followers. It's what allows one person to keep going when 10 others give up. It's what keeps the fighter in the ring when his body begs him to quit. It's what drives the artist to practice when no one is watching. It's what pushes the builder to work in silence while others sleep. Discipline is the edge, the unseen force, the hidden strength behind every story of greatness. You cannot fake discipline. You either have it or you don't. It shows in your habits, your mindset, your choices, your results. It's visible in how you spend your mornings, how you react to failure, how you handle temptation. The disciplined don't need to prove anything. They let consistency speak louder than words. They understand that progress is built, not bought, that consistency compounds where chaos collapses. Discipline doesn't just build success, it builds identity. It makes you trust yourself. It proves that you can depend on your own strength. It teaches you to follow through, to persist, to endure. Discipline is freedom because it frees you from weakness, distraction, and regret. The undisciplined are slaves to impulse, but the disciplined are masters of direction. Every empire was built on discipline. Every legend was formed through it. Every dream that survived did so because someone refused to give up when it was easier to quit. Discipline doesn't give you results overnight. It gives you results that last forever. It's the grind that never stops, the structure that never breaks, the fire that never dies. Discipline is the invisible crown of the powerful. It's the proof of self-command, the mark of warriors, the heartbeat of greatness. The few who wield it don't just live, they lead. They shape destiny, defy odds, and dominate mediocrity. Discipline is the sword that cuts through excuses, the armor that shields against failure, and the weapon that separates the few from the rest.